Hello students, welcome to my class and I hope you and your family are safe during this pandemic. Today I will be taking you through an interesting topic in history which will take you back to your roots and will make you appreciate our cultural heritage. I hope you will enjoy the session as much as I have enjoyed making this lesson for you. All I need you to do is watch your screens and concentrate for the next few minutes. Before we go through our lesson, let's talk about our present times, which will help you to relate to our topic that we are going to talk about. This pandemic has brought its own problems, its own challenges. Like you can't go to school, you can't go out to play, you can't go to the movies, you can't see your friends. But in all this, the one thing that the pandemic has done is bring the family together. You are staying more at home, you are more with your parents, your grandparents, you're spending more time with them. Now, during this time, if you see, your grandparents may be telling you stories about the times when they were young, when they used to stay in the village. They had a simple life, no technology, no lights, no television, simple life. Can we relate to this? Most of your grandparents, in fact, even most of your native places have this environment. Simple life, no traffic, no noise pollution, right? And simple living, simple farming, working together, working out in the open. This was the life that our grandparents seen. And now we come to the newer generation. That is your parents' generation. Now how is our life? We stay in buildings, in flats. You have all commercial buildings. This is a famous site of Marine Drive in Mumbai. See the traffic flowing. What is the occupation now? In offices, doing jobs, commercial offices, right? All in a closed environment under the AC. So what do we see is that we have a village life, which was during our grandparents' time, the city life during our parents' time. So each generation has its own life, its own way of living, its own customs, and from that people move on. So civilization, when we talk about civilization, it's nothing but of a time, a place, of a particular group of people, a particular state, city, their different habits, and they're moving on to a more modernized state. For example, from a village life to a city life. So civilization is this. So our today's lesson is similar to this, where we talk about the Harappan civilization. So our today's lesson is Harappan civilization. Now in the previous session you have already covered the first 3 points of the Harappan civilization. That is, what is Harappan civilization, the housing and town planning in this civilization, the seals and pots. So from here we will now take the lessons ahead. The next points, that is the Great Bath, life in the Harappan civilization, trade, and reasons for the decline of the Harappan civilization. Now let's see the Great Bath. Now during the excavation, a great tank, the Great Bath, was discovered at Mohenjo-daro. Let's take a clear view of the Great Bath. What do you see in this? You can see a hollow space like a swimming pool. This was a tank that was discovered by the archaeologist. Right? Who are the archaeologists? Archaeologists are the people who study human history. Right? From the past events, from human remains, from the sculptures, from these things that they find, they study about it, how the doctors study about diseases and they cure it. The archaeologists study about the human history. So when they dug up near Mohenjo-daro, they found this tank. It was a spacious path. It was discovered. Now, if you go to our grandparents' time during the village life, how do people used to bathe? Bathe in the open, near the river, near the well. They never had taps. They never had a bathing room. But today we do have that. If you see, during the Harappa civilization, it is said to be the first modern city that was discovered. The spacious bath that was discovered, it was nearly 2.5 meters deep and 12 meters long, 7 meters wide. If you see, the surrounding of this tank is with bricks. Now if you see the swimming pools that we have tiles, right? We have for water flowing in, for the water to go out, for refilling the tank, cleaning, draining. If you see, even in those times in the Harappa civilization, the structure was made in such a way, it was made with baked bricks to prevent seepage of water. They had steps also that led to the tank to provide the draining, cleaning and refilling of the tank from time to time. So if you see, even though it was much ancient before our modern age, these facilities were still there. That's why it is called as the first modern city that was discovered. Now let's go ahead. We now come to the next part, that is the life in the Harappa civilization. Now how was the life of the Harappa civilization? During the excavation at Kalibanga, this is a part in Rajasthan, over there they found evidence of plowed field, where they did plowing of fields. So what they found was agriculture was the main occupation there. As you know, the main occupation of our country is agriculture. The people, they grew different crops, mainly wheat and barley. In Rajasthan, barley was grown on a large scale, while in Gujarat it was ragi, peas, siamis and lentils, that is masoor dal. These grains were also cultivated, and the people were also very familiar with cotton. After the life, we come to the way they used to dress up, how they used to dress, the clothes they used to wear. The clothes that they used to wear was the same that they used to weave. They used to weave their own clothes. The dresses of both the men and women, it consisted of knee-length cloth and an upper garment. With the clothes, they were very fond of wearing ornaments also. If you see in some of the villages, you see the men also wearing ornaments at their legs, in the ears, rings, on their hands. You see some women wearing bangles right up to their arm. So even in the Harappa civilization, many types of ornaments were worn, not just by women but also by men. And they were made of different stones, made of gold, copper, precious stones, shells, seeds, and men, women both wore them. There was also art during those times. If you see, the Indian culture was very famous for its art. Even during the Harappa civilization, there were sites which showed that there was beautiful arts that were done by the artists during that time. The man's facial features were very clearly drawn, very clearly carved, and a cloak with a beautiful trefoil pattern is draped across his shoulders. So if you see the pictures in your textbook, it shows the specimen of a Harappan art. It also shows you the ornaments that were worn during the Harappa civilization. So when we summarize the life of the Harappa civilization, it shows us that the main occupation was agriculture, the different crops that were grown there, the different types of ornaments that the men and women wore, the different types of clothes that they wore, and also the art form of during the Harappa civilization. We now come to the trade during the Harappa civilization. The trade that was carried during the Harappa civilization was a trade that was carried within India and outside India also. It was normally carried across the Indus Valley, which was known famous for its high quality cotton. The cotton was exported to other regions like West Asia, Southern Europe, and Egypt. Cotton cloth was also exported. The traders of the Harappan civilization provided muslin cloth to Egypt. Silver, zinc, gemstones, rubies were all some of the items that were imported from Kashmir, South India. Iran, Afghanistan, and Balochistan, trade was carried on both by land routes and sea routes, that is through the Arabian Sea. Some of the excavated seals bear pictures of ships. A huge dockyard has been discovered at Lothal. The trade of the Harappan civilization was carried on along the coastline of the Arabian Sea. So this talks about the trade during the Harappa civilization. They used to use the land route and the sea route across the coastline of the Arabian Sea. It tells you about the trade that they used to have within India and with other countries. The different types of materials that they used to import and export to the other countries. Now we seen the bath that was found, that the tank bath that was found in the Harappa civilization. We have seen the life of the Harappa civilization people, and we have also seen the ornaments they have worn. We have also seen the trade that was carried out during the Harappa civilization. Even though it was so prosperous, this Harappan civilization, the Harappan civilization still declined. There are a number of reasons why there was a decline in the Harappan civilization. Let's see the reasons for the Harappan civilization decline. Frequent floods. Because of the frequent floods, the Harappan civilization declined. Invasion by foreigners, decline in the trade, droughts, that means no rainfall, drying up of river basins, earthquakes. All these reasons led to the decline in the Harappan civilization. Because of these reasons, it led to the migration of people. That is, the people moved out. Migration means people moving from one place to another place in want of whether it's better living style, better education. People move out. Now when there is floods, they can't cultivate, they can't grow crops. So what do? They have to move on, right? Similarly, when there is a decline in trade, they need to try a new trade. Then you move to new place to try new trade. So there is migration of people, due to which it led to the decline of the Harappan civilization. With this, we summarize the lesson, the Harappan civilization. If you see the picture of your textbook, it shows you a visual of the dockyard at the Lothal. This is a dockyard wherein they used to do their import and export, right? That is moving off their goods from one place to another through the sea route. That is, this is a dockyard through which they used to do their trade. Going ahead, this shows you the history, the Indian history timeline. If you watch the top, it shows you the early Harappan phase, the mature Harappan phase, and the later Harappan phase. It shows you the full curve right from the starting to the current, right till the independent modern India age. Right? Now, the Harappan civilization, it started from 2500 BCE. Now, when you say 2500 BCE, that is a year. BCE, do you know what is the full form of BCE and CE? Can you guess? Some of you all would have guessed. BCE is called before Common Era and CE is called Common Era. So right now we are in 2020 Common Era. This is a Common Era. This is the modern age era of technology, which we are all using now, right? So what do we summarize? Even back then, during our grandparents' time, when there was the village life, people were used to do farming. They all worked in the farms. They enjoyed working in the farms. Our food grains come from the farms. right? So we need to respect them. We need to respect each form of occupation, whether it's agriculture, whether it's commercial, whether it's trading. Every occupation has its own need, own importance, own respect. Going ahead, this is a link of the Google form. You need to fill this form up and submit it. This is a recap of what we learned and an activity which is based on the lesson that we have just learned. There's also a homework for you. You need to write an essay on your native place, its customs, culture, people, food, occupation, anything that you can think of that is distinctive, that is unique, that is different. Everyone is different. Every place, every culture has its own uniqueness. So I need you to write an essay, speak to your grandparents, speak to your parents, speak to your family members, involve them, and write a beautiful essay on your culture, on your heritage. We should all respect our heritage, right? So we come to the end of our lesson. Thank you so much, students, for listening. Keep the learning on. All the best. Stay home, stay safe till we meet for the next session. Thank you.